Hi guys, I'm Jelly, a Jelly Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do my full book haul. It's been a while since I've done a book haul, but I thought since I have collected quite some books over the past few months, I would do a collective book haul of all of the books I acquired during the fall. First of all, let's talk about the mistake of the century. I bought Gemina, which wasn't the mistake. I also bought another copy of Gemina. I feel like I have already talked about this in one of my videos, but if you haven't seen it, I have pre-ordered Gemina in July, and I've pre-ordered Gemina in, I believe it was September. So yeah, I pre-ordered it twice. I forgot all about it. You can see I have read it already because I don't know if you can actually see it because right here you can see I've sort of cracked spines, and this one is in pristine condition because I basically haven't touched it. It's just been sitting on my shelf being pretty. But Gemina is a sequel to Illuminate. It's the second book in the Illuminate Files trilogy. This follows two completely different characters but still in the same overarching plot line, and the first book follows Katie and Ezra, and they have to escape their planet because there has been an invasion and they have to get on these spaceships to get back to safety. Something goes wrong and Katie is the one who has to fix it and find her ex-boyfriend Ezra, and it all takes off from there. And basically Gemini is a completely different story from that first book, but I enjoyed it just slightly less than I enjoyed Illuminate. I also got sent Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. I got sent this as a review copy by Social Book Co. I have joined their a book reviewing program. I will link that down below, but I am so happy I got this book because Jennifer Niven is one of my favorite authors, and obviously I wanted to read her latest YA contemporary. This book follows two main characters, a female main character and a male main character. The female main character suffers from weight issues. She's a bit oversized. The male main character is black and he suffers from prosopagnosia, and this means he has face blindness, he can't recognize anyone, and he recognizes people based on their identifiers like big hair, a certain kind of weight, just things that are easily to identify, but he can't recognize their faces. It follows them meeting and interacting, and it's basically all the bright places, but the main characters have just two different sets of problems. Then I bought two books I've already read by one of my favorite authors, and two books I really want to reread. The first one is Last Night I Sang to the Monster, Benjamin Alire Sáenz, and the second one is Sammy and Juliana in Hollywood by the same author. And I love how big these two books are and just how short they look, and the feeling of them. I just love them and they fit so nicely together on my shelves. This book is about a guy who gets into rehab and he has amnesia. He can't remember why he's in rehab and what happened to him. And during rehab, he's trying to figure that out while connecting with people in rehab and establishing relationships. And I really love Benjamin Alire's writing style, which is why I come back to his books constantly, and I have all of his books currently published in English on my wish list, and I eventually want to buy them all and just fill my shelves with his books. And obviously we have Sammy and Juliana in Hollywood. Basically follows Sammy and Juliana who are in love and boyfriend and girlfriend, and Hollywood is a barrio or a neighborhood in their town. It's not the Hollywood you might think with the whole filmmaking thing, because that's not what it is. Amie is a Mexican American, and it explores his nationality and how that defines you. Also relationships and having trouble with yourself. This one reminded me the most of Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which was the first book I read by this author. But I absolutely loved Sammy, and also loved the font in this now I'm looking at it. It has a very soothing kind of font, I believe. It's very easy to read, they're very short, and I cannot wait to reread both of these books. Then I bought another two books by an author I have been enjoying lately. Is a classics author, and so I bought Northanger Abbey and Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. As you can see, I'm currently reading Mansfield Park. I have read Northanger Abbey, which is about a girl called Catherine who goes to stay with these friends of her parents. She eventually goes with some acquaintances she has met to their estate called Northanger Abbey, and she is just basically pursuing this guy who lives at Northanger Abbey. It's short. It's, I think, one of Austen's shortest novels, but maybe my favourite, aside from Emma, which was the first book I read by Austen. Aside from Northanger Abbey, I also bought Mansfield Park, which is about a shy girl called Fanny Price. She's gonna stay with distant family because her own family is kind of poor, and they sent her away to go live with these distant relatives. She doesn't even get to say goodbye to her siblings or her parents. She just has to go stay, and since she is painfully shy and she doesn't know these distant relatives, she has a hard time getting settled in Mansfield Park, where she has gone to live. I love these Penguin English Library Classic Editions. I have bought all of Jane Austen's books so far in these editions, and I think I will keep buying them in these editions because I think they are so incredibly pretty. I am currently, I am 2 chapters in so far. I'm going to read 2 chapters a day, and I still have to read my 2 chapters for today. But when you see this video, I will probably be almost done, if not completely done with this book. So I will let you know in my wrap-up of December what I think about this. I also bought The Midnight Star, which is the 3rd and final book in the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu, and possibly one of my favourite series of all time because of its main character Adelina. The Young Elites is about Adelina, who has had a difficult past, but she discovers she has these powers and then meets other people who have the same kind of powers she does, and she teams up with them, tries to make the lives of the people who have powers and have been touched by the blood fever better. I love this because Adelina is descending into villainy. She's becoming a villain throughout this trilogy, and I have never heard of a more unique premise before. Adelina was so well done. This whole series and the ending was so well done. It was bittersweet but so lovely, and I love this whole trilogy. If you haven't read anything by Marie Lu, I strongly recommend starting with the Young Elites because I wasn't a fan of Legend myself, but the Young Elites I have no regrets about. And the last book in this book haul is Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel, which is a science fiction adult novel formatted entirely through interviews and reports on research. It's about this researcher who falls into a mechanical hand when she's young, and she grows up and wants to be a researcher and goes after all of these other robotic parts that have to be spread around the world. And this whole book follows the assembling of this robot and the different characters that participate in this research. The interviewer is nameless. We get to know quite a bit about him, but we don't know who he is, what his name is, what his background is, that kind of thing. I like this. I didn't feel connected to the characters, and I do think that was because of the formatting, even though I really felt connected to the characters from, for example, Gemina and Illumine, especially through the formatting. So I don't think this was really well done, because I do think I can get a connection to these characters with the formatting, but I just didn't think it was well done in this book. I love the nameless interviewer. I think it's one of my favourite villains, sort of, so far this year. I especially like that about this book, and I don't think I'm going to continue on with this series, but because I feel like I've got enough from this book, even though the ending was quite mysterious. These were the books I acquired during the fall. Let me know down below what books you bought during the fall, or if you have read any of these. I have read most of these already, but I would love to know what you thought about them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!